Morning. Taking a walk down to the park. Gonna go do some sprints. Today we're gonna talk about you've done your training, you're trying to eat better, but the fat still isn't coming off. What could be holding you back? There's generally three main things. We're gonna talk about those three today. Sleep. I think we all know that sleep is pretty important, but do we know that it's probably one of the best anabolic things you could possibly do? If you are not getting 7+ hours of sleep a night, you're leaving a good chunk of that fat loss on the table. Poor sleep drives late night cravings, increases your insulin resistance, and leads to fat storage, especially around the belly. If you work night shift, this makes your life a lot more complicated. Your testosterone and other hormones should be optimized during sleep. But if you're not sleeping, your growth hormone and all the other good stuff, you're eating, you're training hard, you're doing all the good stuff, that's just not going to be as effective. Deep sleep also clears the inflammation from your brain, which helps you think clearly. During the day, you're thinking a lot, you're doing a lot of things, and that builds up byproducts in the brain. And the brain needs to clear those out. The time it does that is during sleep. 7+ hours is what we're shooting for. Try to keep the same sleep time frame if possible. Mostly the wake up time is the most important. You'll figure out the go to bed time. We obviously want a room that is cold, dark, and quiet, and that will get us the best sleep. All right, number 2, stress. I think we all know that stress is a problem, but why does it stop your fat loss? Cortisol is supposed to spike in the morning, and that should help your body kind of prepare for the day and get everything going. What we see a lot is people get a reversed cortisol cycle, where it's actually spiking at night, which A, makes it hard to sleep, but B, doesn't really do a lot of the things that your body's supposed to do. So now you're starting to get more body fat. Prolonged stress also slows down fat loss, specifically in the belly, neck, and back. It keeps you wired, but tired. You also tend to snack. You start to chase stimulation, such as caffeine, scrolling through Instagram, or overthinking. And that throws off a lot of things. Your hunger cycles start taking a dive. So even though training might be going well, having that stress in there is just adding another thing to your body to try and deal with. All right, number 3, your environment. You hear it all the time. Guys are like, if I've been consuming all these bad things for so long, what difference does it make if I add a little bit more? Well, that difference is that we are complex systems. And with complex systems, it might be the 1,373rd thing that just throws you over the edge. There's no real way to know what that is. But when you add more variables to the system, you add more complexity. So the less variables you have, the easier it is to troubleshoot and try and deal with some of those things. So if you think about our career fields, we have burning hazards, smoke, burn pits, picking up brass at the range, with some people still doing it barehanded and sticking in their hats. Not a good idea. We have everything else in our food. We have everything in the municipal water supply. We have, you think about all the medications and stuff that your doctor prescribes, supposed to be healthy for you. Those are generally made of petroleum and things like that. Not necessarily a bad thing to take a medication that helps you with other items, but just remember, it's another stress load. Things like your hormones, especially testosterone and thyroid, are sensitive to chemical loads. So your fat can act as a toxin buffer. The more exposed you are, the more you're going to store fat, because that is how the body protects itself. So if you have better inputs, better quality food, less environmental toxins, air, light, noise, etc. Yes, those are pollutions, even though they don't seem like it. It'll help with better digestion, recovery, and metabolic function. Less variables along the system, the easier it is to troubleshoot, like I said before. So some things you can do: you can use a water filter, not just for your drinking water, but also for showering. It's huge. Your skin is a very large organ. Your skin is also supposed to be able to protect yourself from things like that. But once it gets overloaded, it does start to break down a little bit. Stop collecting brass with your hat, your helmet, or your bare hands. All right, I believe SOCOM's already put out a health message on this. Big Army and big DoD has not gotten to it yet, but they will probably in the next few years. This also helps from a flame retardant standpoint. Try and wear natural materials when it comes to whatever's next to skin. So underwear, t-shirts, etc. If you can get cotton or merino, it's great. I know just as well as everybody else, I prefer polyester when it comes to activities, just because it does better with sweat and whatnot. When you are storing your food to bring it to work, do your best to minimize plastic and definitely do not microwave it. Try using stainless steel, ceramic, or glass. Same with your water bottle. Minimize synthetic products, soaps, deodorants, laundry, detergents, things of that nature as much as possible. Again, we're not going to be able to do everything perfect, and that's fine. Wash your produce, your fruit, your vegetables, all that good stuff. Issue gear, especially in the fire service. Make sure you're going through your procedures and getting that stuff cleaned out. We don't think about it on the law enforcement and the military side as much, but we probably need it more so because there are not these standard protocols of cleaning. All right, a bonus section, social support. It sounds cheesy, but think about it like this. If your environment that is around you is not supportive in your goals, it is going to make it a much larger challenge. I always use the example that a few years back, my then girlfriend and I were doing Whole30. She went out to hang out with her friends, and as Whole30 is no alcohol, it's no sugar, no processed anything. All of her friends were like, oh, just have a drink. It's not a big deal. One's not going to kill you, blah, blah, blah. You just should join us, because they felt bad that she wasn't doing what they were doing. Then you contrast that with me going to work and we have a buffet lunch. When the guy's like, hey man, you want to roll? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not eating bread for the next 30 days. And they're like, you know what? I should do that too. And next thing you know, guys are naturally influenced to start eating a little bit healthier. Does that carry on? Probably not. But if you continuously do that day after day, your environment that you're in tends to be a little bit more supportive. So if you think about those two cases, who do you think is going to have easier time getting through it in a very strict, regimented elimination type diet like Whole30? It's going to be a little bit easier if you have that support. All right, so summarizing, sleep, stress, environment, and that added bonus of some social support are really the things that might be a help in your fat loss journey. If you like this, comment fat loss down below, and I will send you a link to the article version so you can keep that as a reference. See you next time.